While we learned a lot about health, nutrition, sanitation, and agricultural issues that can pertain to many parts of Africa, our experiences were within a small part of one country. While Uganda is in Africa, it also has its own peculiarities, and even those are often regional. Africa, a land known for its rich culture and wildlife. Africa is often thought of as a poverty-stricken place where food is unavailable and there is little hope for change. After traveling to the amazing country of Uganda, we learned that this is not the case. Malnutrition is a major problem in Africa, but not for the reasons you might think. It's not because of a lack of food, but rather a lack of education. Africa has 3 growing seasons, yet many people do not have the knowledge of how to efficiently and effectively grow food year-round. Additionally, malnutrition is not always observable and is often deemed the silent killer. You cannot always physically see the deficiency of vitamins and minerals, but they are essential for survival. As a result of malnutrition, many people are stunted mentally and physically. They are more susceptible to disease and illness, often leading to premature death. Most families practice subsistence farming, so agricultural education is crucial. A typical meal might include beans, matoke, rice, potatoes, and cassava, most of which are starches. A typical family will grow only 1 or 2 of these crops, creating unbalanced meals and resulting in a lack of essential nutrient consumption. The fact that most families only own small plots of land should not pose a problem. After visiting a 1-acre farm, we learned that a large space is not needed to grow the foods necessary for a complete and balanced diet. With the proper education, people can learn to be more efficient with the space that they have.
In addition to agriculture, culture also plays a large role in the challenge of eliminating malnutrition. In a typical Ugandan family, the father eats first, taking the first and best of the food and leaving the leftovers for the mother and children. Because of this, at times when less food is available, the children receive little to nothing and are certainly not receiving the essential nutrients that a growing child requires. Furthermore, cultural beliefs also prohibit women from consuming eggs, meat, and several other nutrient-dense foods. The vitamins, minerals, and proteins found in these prohibited foods are not compensated for in the women's daily diets. As an attempt to aid in nutrient balance, many organizations have tried to implement fortified foods. However, the change in color due to fortification creates resistance and willingness to eat the food despite the similar taste and health benefits. Another factor crucial to malnutrition is sanitation. The lack of sanitation in Uganda leaves an open door for infections and diseases to thrive. When someone is malnourished, they lack the proteins essential for making antibodies to fight disease. Similarly, malnutrition severely affects those who have HIV/AIDS. When a person doesn't consume the proteins needed to make antibodies, in addition to the pre-existing lowered immunity due to the HIV/AIDS virus destroying protein-based antibodies, this leaves room for opportunistic infections. Therefore, malnutrition coupled with poor sanitation results in serious health problems and oftentimes death. In particular, water is the main obstacle when it comes to sanitation. This is a huge problem in itself, as many people dump their daily waste and garbage into waterways and don't have the resources or the knowledge to purify their water. As a result, they consume contaminated water, which contributes to disease, infection, and overall poor health. Once again, with the proper education implemented, all of these problems could be greatly reduced.
Implementing nutrition education with regard to cultural barriers could reduce these problems profoundly. While in Uganda, we had the chance to visit the 1-acre farm of Dr. Emma. She integrated every aspect of the farm. Each crop of the farm thrived because of the integration of each and every part of every crop and every animal, leaving nothing to waste. Additionally, the issue of limited space to grow crops is being resolved with sack gardens. In these sack gardens, multiple plants can be grown. All that is needed is a sack, soil, seeds, sunshine, and a small area of about 4 square feet. The proper education can make a world of difference considering the available land in Uganda, the knowledge of sack gardening and small plots of land, and Uganda's 3 growing seasons. For example, even simply communicating that the stalks grown from maize can be used as feed for animals and the waste from the animals can be used as fertilizer for the maize shows them how their farm can be integrated and thrive, giving them the maximum product yield. Furthermore, education could demonstrate that it's possible to grow the foods needed for a balanced diet on any size of land given limited resources. Effectively and efficiently using this land would bring Ugandans closer to maximum crop yield, therefore reducing the incidence of food insecurity. In addition to educating people on land usage, additional education on what nutrients each type of food contains could help break the cultural barriers that do not allow women to consume certain foods. By understanding how essential the food they do not eat is to their nutritional health, and by emphasizing the consequences of malnutrition, women may expand their diet, and fathers may start to be conscious of providing their children with adequate meals. We feel in regard to culture and education, the best approach would be to explain and teach community members how to grow and cook a well-balanced meal, in addition to addressing the benefits and consequences avoided by doing so. Furthermore, providing instruction on ways to purify water, dispose of waste, and prevent the spread of pathogens, as well as introducing toilets and water purification systems, would hopefully improve sanitation. Implementation of the knowledge of the vast improvements made by simply washing hands or boiling water before using it would give significant results. We hope through education, eating properly will become more important than color or type of food, and sanitation would improve.
Lack of education is the root of many causes of malnutrition. This lack of education has snowballed into too big a health problem to ignore. Therefore, intervention through respectful education is necessary. Currently, many efforts are in place to provide education. Nutritionists from local clinics have developed a set of cards and flyers for mothers containing information on what to feed children at different developing stages. Additionally, sample gardens have been created for community members to visit and learn how to organize a garden with crops that contain all essential nutrients. It is clear that better funding and resources for education would make a huge difference. Are you doing your part?